Down at the Copa. Copacabana. But that was many years ago. Something, something that you know. Oh, I'm tired. All right. Pregnant woman being hunted and whose demony partner he killed will come up again. And we've got another client that will be shortly forgotten by the next episode. And we've got another client that will be shortly forgotten by the next episode. Somehow, even with all... Hello, sir. How you doing? Somehow, even with all the good lorny bits and the chemistry... All the good lorny bits. All the good... lorny bits. Your singing makes me lorny.
Know what I'm talking about. In this city...
Okay, just making sure there is sound. I like your lorny bits. Wait, what? Jack! Think you'll be establishing an upload schedule anytime soon? Want to or will? Maybe Jack can answer that question. And we've got another client that will be shortly forgotten by the next episode. Somehow, even with all the good lorny bits. Your love is like a red, red rose, and I am a little thorny. The next episode. Somehow, even with all the good lorny bits and the chemistry, I don't want that two shot. That one.
Defender of...
It's like you're a poet, Jack.
Lorny bits and the chemistry. Judgment still feels at times like a relatively rote Season 1 Angel story.
You can tell when my life takes a turn down Wesley Avenue when I start showing up to all the live streams. I'm sorry? I fall to pieces. Don't fight it. Blech. Actually, I'm not sure I would call I Fall to Pieces a rote angel story. But it is gross.
He killed her. Please don't leave me alone. Please don't leave me.
It's alright, it's alright. Oh.
Relatively rote Season 1 Angel story.
Judgment still feels at times like a relatively...
We can finish this tonight, and I have game fuel, which I haven't been able to use on the live stream because I've been doing them during the day. And I have a kitty, and I have Jack. We're going to finish tonight. $3 bottles of wine are solid. Okay.
It still feels at times like a relatively rote Season 1 Angel story. Woman in trouble with a generic supernatural threat.
Woman in trouble with a generic supernatural threat. Hey, dog lever.
That's the one which you used to get the dog up off the carpet. Welcome. Woman in trouble. I've got you under my skin. That's no eternity. The truth is, Torvald. Game Fuel, is that the new brand of whiskey? No. I was thinking Hi. It's the weirdest thing. She gets in. Oh, now she's... No, you're camera shy now. There we go. Yeah, alright. Anywho. Times like a relative. Well. Cat cam. Well, I gotta make this money to live somehow, John. What do you want from me? Quality content? Pfft.
You never really saw even one...
Guys gotta eat. Cat videos. I think I've already decided the next Nerd Chipper video is gonna be all about cats.
Season 1 Angel Story. Woman in trouble with a generic supernatural threat. Angel.
Actually, that's not a generic supernatural threat. How is the Firefly script coming along? Well, you might find this surprising. Actually, I don't think Somnambulist is wrote. Parting Gifts is Hero. I will remember you. Bachelor Party. Well, Cordy's kind of woman in trouble in this one. And a ghost is a pretty generic supernatural threat.
You better be sorry.
Make yourself a noose. I doubt your commitment to sparkle motion.
An Angel Story. Woman in trouble with a generic supernatural threat. Angel brooding. Wacky.
Angel brooding. You're a generic supernatural threat. How dare you? It's fair. In the dark. Is it Lonely Hearts? We could go out. We'll do the first one. Can we staple the antlers, I mean GoPro, to the cat's head? Well, she's already out. God, I wish I was that good at sleeping. Your taxonomic nomenclature is carnivorous in nature.
An Angel Story. Woman in trouble with a generic supernatural threat. Angel brooding. Wacky hijinks on...
Wacky hijinks. Oh, that would be...
You today, oh Mandy.
Actually, yeah, this is a set of comparisons to the first season, so Angel Dancing makes more sense. Tired and cold, can I just curl up in a ball and have someone cuddle me to sleep? Yeah, let's get you out here, buddy. Jess and I will Oreo sandwich you all night. I was about to say something real dirty, and I'm like, oh, I'm on a live stream. That's a terrible idea.
Supernatural threat, angel brooding, wacky hijinks, honor good,
Honor good.
Go home.
I hate it. Just watching a little bit of it, my stomach went, "Urgh, I hate that scene. I appreciate the dirty talk. Well, okay. Maybe this is the right kind of crowd for talking about Jack and I Oreoing each other.
angel brooding, wacky hijinks, honor good, redemption hard.
That would be somnambulist. I wonder if anything really changes.
I was just thinking about how much this place is like where I grew up.
Right.
But I enjoyed it.
You have.
There we go.
I wonder if anything ever really changes.
Oh, Boris, you asked me how the Firefly script is going. Well, you may find this hard to believe, but it was a little difficult for Jess and I to get down to business. Once we did, we got some work done, got the outline developed. More writing tomorrow, assuming I publish this today.
Angel story, woman in trouble with a generic supernatural threat, angel brooding, wacky hijinks,
Wacky hijinks. That needs an audio transition.
wacky hijinks, honor good, redemption hard, yada yada yada.
Yada yada yada. You think I made a mistake? You think I made a mistake? Oh, you're talking about in this one. I'm sure there are a couple of mistakes in this one. I haven't finished putting in the edits yet. Did someone say steak? Yada yada yada. I am so tired, I will drink for that. Cheers, everyone. Happy Monday. That's good. Whew. Wake up. If I'm awake, you have to be awake. All right.
Wacky hijinks, honor good, redemption hard, yada yada yada. But we know the business of television had an influence on Angel's plot arcs from time to time, and
I really wish I was best friends with Aubrey Plaza. Have you been watching Parks and Rec like I've been telling you you need to do? Jack, there's a favorite. There's a short list of. Jeez, there's a short list of favorite shows of all time. Oh. Buffy, Star Trek The Next Generation, Avatar The Last Airbender, The X-Files, and Parks and Recreation. And probably Firefly.
Yada, yada, yada. But we know the business of television had an influence on Angel's plot arcs from time to time, and maybe that's why Judgment feels like another pilot with...
And White Chicks. First of all, not a TV show. Second of all, you're right, I shouldn't have left that out.
First I was afraid. I was...
Chances of an episode guide on our Avatar. Why can't I talk tonight? This is the first glass of wine. Chances of an Avatar episode guide, 100%. Hi. Unless I die or get old, or both, beforehand.
But we know the business of television
Older.
had an influence on Angel's plot arcs from time to time, and maybe that's why Judgment feels like another pilot with a built-in desire to catch up new viewers.
Ron Swanson is my hero. Yeah. I could not be more opposite of Ron Swanson in... He's so masculine and good at stuff. Can fix things. He's a libertarian. I want to be like Ron. I am nothing like Ron. Oh, God. Am I Tom? No, I'm not that clean. I do have the beard. That's true. He's got way better hair than I do. Hey, just wanted to say thanks. I've been able to get my girlfriend into Buffy. Hooray! And it's all thanks to your wife. You should watch Buffy video. Also watching each guide after we watch each episode. Awesome, Dan. I'm happy to hear it. The more the merrier. I started made that video because I couldn't get my friends into it. And at this point, I know it has gotten many, many, many people into it. So glad you roped one. How goes the battle? 14-14 of... we were on the last 30 seconds. Shout out Nerd Chipper. It's been fun. Yeah. Someone wrote, the classic listicle turned into discussion on the meaning of life. That old chestnut. Or the classic pop culture listicle turned into discussion on the meaning of life. I'm like, well, that's pretty much par for the course on this channel. Next video is going to be all about cats.
Redemption, hard, yada, yada, yada. But we know the business of television had an need to shake up the formula. Influence on Angel's plot arcs from time to time, and maybe that's why Judgment feels like another pilot with a built-in desire to catch up new viewers rather than a continuation of Angel and Company's epic journey.
Happy editing, 6 a.m. here, nearly time for work. I look forward to the next guide vid. Have a good work day.
That's not gonna happen. Belongs to us.
Us.
Epic journey. At first I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side.
Catch up new viewers rather than a continuation of Angel and Company's epic journey. A consideration of the fact that the show didn't have the strongest following at this time in its run. And
we're so close.
Epic journey, a consideration of the fact that the show didn't have the strongest following at this time in its run and would need to do more than rest on its Buffy laurels to survive and flourish.
Buffy laurels. That sounds weird. That's okay. I'll put in a joke that but then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong. And I learned how to get along.
Mortal coordination leaving something to be desired?
Wrong.
Okay. And somewhere a toilet flush.
This time in its run and would need to do more. Its run and would need to do more than rest on its Buffy laurels to survive and flourish.
Do you think Lila Morgan was redeemable? I feel like she was pretty comfortable working for an evil law firm. I think she was definitely comfortable, but I think, you know, part of the whole idea of the show is anyone is redeemable. It's all about choice.
Flourish. All of that said, it's still better television than a fair bit of season 1,
And now you're back from outer space. David Greenwalt directed She? Bernie McBoob window. Let's get like a better hangout. Yeah. Look how sexy my is.
Power. He even signals when we're aroused and have met desirable mates.
Packed my bags last night, pre-flight. I mean, all things considered, I actually kind of like this montage visually. Just the words that are coming out of her word hole. Finally started watching Parks and Rec. Awesome. I don't know if I have dropped the advice before. Skip season 1. Start with season 2. When you're all done, go back, watch season 1. Season 1 is nothing like the rest of the show. So if you've been watching season 1 and it feels dry, there's a reason. Oh, well, if you're enjoying it, good. It gets funnier and more... The chemistry gets way better. Chemistry becomes the reason to watch the show.
At this time in its run and would need to do more than rest on its Buffy laurels to survive and flourish. All of that said, it's still better television than a fair bit of season 1, and honestly, that's better TV than most.
Do you know Bailing has a streak of being in awful episodes of television? I believe I read that in the comments when that video went up. I frequently watch BBC and CBC, so I'm good with dry. Well, it did start as a sequel to The Office. And then in development, they kind of backtracked it. But I mean, speaking of dry, took me to episode 5 in season 1, and I was hooked. Oh, in Parks and Rec? I don't remember what happened. I've only watched season 1 like twice. I am perpetually rewatching that show because I watch it before I go to bed.
The same thing. Yay.
But I love it. They're a warm blanket of cozy, comforting, wonderful characters to spend time with.
Girls to survive.
I will survive. And now, I will with a spicy chicken sandwich. Thank you, Jack. Don't give me money. but thank you. I love you. It's good. Okay.
And would need to do more than rest on its Buffy laurels to survive and flourish.
Don't tell me what do you. I will tell you what do you all anytime I want do you.
All of that said, it's still better television than a fair bit of Season 1, and honestly, that's better TV than most. It's wonderful to be back with these characters.
I have read half of Season 8 of Buffy, and really struggled to get into it. And I read Tales from the Slayers and Frey, and really enjoyed them both. I will survive. And the world they inhabit. And the world they inhabit is Lorne now.
We love it. I'll survive.
Survive. Have not. I read a couple of the Angel comics after the fall, and then no, I just really haven't. It's always been on my to-do list.
And the world they inhabit.
He is the world they inhabit, so that works perfectly. It's almost like I planned it. I didn't plan it. Someday, when I'm old and gray, just thinking of you, I will read the comics. And the way you look tonight. Really quick, have you watched any of these shows? Fleabag, no. Killing Eve, no. Russian Doll, no. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, no. Well, that was easy. Yeah, Lauren's a favorite. All right.
And the world they inhabit.
That always, after a video that had been on my plate for too long, is such a lovely sound. Standing there with Chaos Demon. So... I think the Mandy bit is the most interesting part of this review. Yeah, so... Oh, Slime and Atlas.
You gave without taking, but I sent you
away, oh Mandy. It's like a dumpster on fire careening into a car accident. In your eardrums. Me singing on top of the other.
The prelude.
Oopsie doopsie. That's wrong. Boy, she's a stunner. Oh. That's why we check our work. That's why we nest that, isn't it? Have you watched Supernatural? I have indeed. All but the last couple of seasons. Wait, what is at the end here? Okay, so about 15 minutes. Very long. Gotta stop the guide inflation. Alright, here we go. Audio clips.
First I was afraid, I was petrified.
What does nesting do? Actually, I'll just fix the problem since someone asked what it does, and this live stream is marked as educational. So, what you have here are two video layers. Oh, the kitty is so cute. Two video layers. One of them is the Photoshop document that is cropped, and that is thus the cloth texture with those three boxes. And then on top of that, or underneath that, you have the video clips. So the problem is, when they start to fade out, they're not a single thing fading out all at once, like the completed composition. The top layer is fading out and showing the bottom layer through, which looks weird and like it shouldn't. Simple way to do this is to highlight both of them, or highlight all three of them, and say, I think maybe I have to do the audio layer as well. Nest. Now what that does is it mushes them into a single sequence and then brings the sequence back into this one. So if I double click, we now have a completely unique sequence with just those elements. And if I close that, that unique sequence has been added back into the main sequence. So now if I apply a dissolve to the end of it, it's fading that composition rather than those two elements fading separately. And so you can see the opacity of this one stays proper because it's fading the composition. I hope I explained that and it wasn't garbage, but I'm tired and I want to drink wine. So here we go.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side.
That's too loud.
Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along.
Angel.
I'm just going to redo that for the next video. Should we? Yeah, I don't feel like completely doing that audio composition. And since we're breaking in with a song here, I think it's fine. And I called this like another pilot. The next episode really, to me, begins season 2, so.
I get visions. We do things a certain way.
Oh, Mandy, well, you came and you gave without taking. But I sent you away, oh, Mandy. But you kissed me and started.
That looked weird. What is it? Okay, there's a fade there.
But you kissed me and
We open on the introduction of the unnamed host, but since we'll be finding out his name later this season, and it's not particularly a spoiler, I'm just going to call him Lorne.
Bonsoir.
A montage of Team Angel mounting up ensues that I rather adore. Cordy's acting has taken a real step up since the last time we saw her on stage.
I mean, of course a time will come when Torvald is not.
Ow.
She gets a 911 beep from Angel and takes off. Wesley is throwing a mean game of darts in a bar when he gets his text, and the Avengers assemble at a gym. Minor side note here, in the video for the HD Buffy remaster, I described how a show could be filmed in one aspect ratio, but protected for another. In the case of Angel's second season, it was filmed in 16:9, but intended to be shown in the old 4:3 ratio. And you can see the impact of that with this cool two-part shot that is now broken in most releases, given most outlets use the 16:9. In part one of the shot, David Boreanaz is standing off to the right while the crew focuses on the mirror without Angel's reflection in it. He was supposed to be cropped out when the episode aired in 4:3, when Korea...
Is that the shot you were complaining about, Boris? This would still be a 4:3 frame, and I don't think they would crop both sides equally, was the reason I chose to do that.
Charisma and Alexis reach him, the camera rack focuses on...
It doesn't need to be on both sides. This is double the amount of space anyway. The point is they could crop for any side they wanted to. That was deliberate. I didn't accidentally leave that off.
The camera rack focuses off the mirror, and it looks like Angel was with the group the whole time. Probably looked very cool in 4:3. But since most sources for the show now use the unprotected 16:9, it makes no sense why Angel is standing there or has a reflection. Angel bursts through the mirror, Team Angel kicks ass, and again later in the scene. Anyways, Team Angel has taken up residence in Cordy's haunted home.
That was too fast, though.
Anyways.
That one was really fast. Then later in the scene.
Again, later in the scene. Anyways. Scene. Anyways.
I guess that works.
Anyways, team in the scene.
I think we can... And again, later in the scene... Oh, undo. Yeah, that's a little speedy there.
And later in the scene... Anyways, Team Angel has taken up residence in Cordy's haunted home.
I'm beginning to think it was the sloth demon.
Sloth demons don't sacrifice adolescents, Wesley. It was a carnus.
Wow. Go Cordy. Angel is now obviously preoccupied with the Shanshu prophecy as he contemplates whether or not to get a gym membership.
You don't have to work out. You're eternal.
May not always be.
Cordy gets a vision.
You alright?
I'll survive.
Get it?
Be.
Cordy gets a vision.
It's kind of weird.
Cordy gets a vision.
You alright?
I'll survive.
Get it? Back at Wolfram and Hart. Darla is refamiliarizing herself with the world. Well, kinda.
Angel. It's been a long time.
Like 3 years. I mean, a few things have happened while you've been gone. We've got 2 Slayers now, so that's interesting. Well, 3. There was this whole thing that, well, never mind. Sunnydale High blew up, so that's a thing. Scott Hope is gay. Wait, wrong show. Meanwhile, in pursuit of a demon from Cordy's vision, Wesley takes the team to Caritas to meet his informant, Merle. Caritas is a magically enforced violence-free karaoke bar run by Lorne, who can read a person or demon's aura when they sing. On this run-through, I know...
Wait, what? The well kinda should be after Darla's line?
Kinda? Self with the world. Well, kinda.
Angel. It's been a long time.
Like 3 years.
Yeah, I guess. Come on now.
Back at Wolfram and Hart. Back at Wolfram and Hart, Darla is refamiliarizing herself with the world. Well, world, kinda. Well, kinda. Like, we can do this, and then do that. Back at Wolfram and Hart, Darla is refamiliarizing herself with the world.
Angel.
World.
Angel.
World. What is going on? Old.
Angel.
That's a weird silence now. Ba 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 ba. Okay.
I'll survive.
Get it? Back at Wolfram and Hart, Darla is refamiliarizing herself with the world.
Angel. It's been a long time.
Well, kinda. Like 3 years. I mean, a few things have happened while you've been gone. We've got 2 Slayers now, so that's interesting. Well, 3. There was this whole thing that, well, never mind. Sunnydale High blew up, so that's a thing. Scott Hope is gay. Wait, wrong show. Meanwhile, in pursuit of a demon from Cordy's vision, Wesley takes the team to Caritas to meet his informant, Merle. Caritas is a magically enforced violence-free karaoke bar run by Lorne, who can read a person or demon's aura when they sing. On this run-through, I noticed one of the patients at Caritas bears a striking resemblance to the naked psychic demons from Earshot. Merle points them in the right direction, and Lorne drops a piece of foreshadowing on Angel.
I know you're feeling smooth in the groove. Isn't that the thing that comes before a fall?
And around this point, after some really fun character building bits, the episode gets a little plotty. In the subway, Angel gets a little plotty. In the subway, Angel stumbles upon and kills the demon. Turns out he was one of the good demons, not the evil ones.
What did you do? Oh my god.
Damn those vague visions. The demon was protecting a woman pregnant with a... Kind of wanted the "Are you a good witch or a bad witch" line. It's not that additive. It's not the evil ones.
What did you do? Oh my god.
Damn those vague visions. The demon was protecting a woman pregnant with a prophesized baby. Angel recruits Gunn to help him find the woman, and when he does, takes over as her protector. Gunn is introduced to the rest of the team in a scene so cringeworthy it might break bones.
He's a great guy with a really fly street tag.
What's he fly?
In fairness, anyone named Gunn probably would have learned by now to introduce themselves as Charles,
What if it's a demon with a gun?
or a friend of Angel. If my last name was Face Punch, I'd probably go by Ian. Angel and his charge find their way up from the sewers into an abandoned hotel, and Angel loses her. Sponsor Cordy, one of my favorite Cordys, steps in to bolster his confidence.
You can't see everything. You're just a vampire like everyone else. That didn't come out right.
To find and protect the woman, Angel resorts to the most heinous, ghastly, and unthinkable deed he's done since getting his soul back.
Oh, Mandy, well, you came and you gave without taking.
Lorne sets him on the path. Angel defends the woman from death in a neo-noir horse jousting sequence that I'm kind of torn about. On the one hand, the shot paused looks pretty sweet. On the other... And the episode ends with Angel coming to grips with the scope of the task in front of him.
Actually, we're starting over with no slay.
And reconnecting with the one person who probably understands him best.
Road to redemption is a rocky path.
Oh man, do I hope they lean into this relationship a lot in the coming season. The opening feels very confident, as if the writers were saying, we may not entirely know the direction the show is going, but we definitely know who these people are. And in the span of a few minutes, they make it very clear that the characters have progressed. The visions forced upon Cordy have infused her with a strong sense of empathy, something required to play characters other than herself.
That was just amazing.
And her growing aptitude for demonology displays the commitment to the cause she found after the torture she'd endured at the end of the first season.
We have to help them.
We will.
There's still a bit of slapstick Wesley here, but he is equally confident in their cause and ready to look inward at the ethical contradictions when they're laid out in front of him.
We're not running a race. We're doing a job.
And the very fact that he is the one with Merle, the demon contact and nose of Caritas, is further evidence that Wesley is far more competent and resourceful than anyone, including he, really believes. Nice to see Darla back and still adjusting, and I definitely prefer whatever this direction is for her character compared to what we had in Buffy Season 1. A bit less vampire Harley Quinn, something more nuanced and complex. At first glance, her appearance in this episode might seem like nothing more than a reminder that she's here, but there's some unshelled pity ouched about the faith tease. Yeah, well, it's a way of making a comment, a spoiler comment, without spoiling. It sucks that it's so good to see her, and it sucks that she's not. It's so good that you get what a huge contribution that relationship could have been, and then she's just not around for 2.5 seasons. So yeah. It's deliberate, it's commentary about future episodes without being direct. Something interesting going on we'll get to in a minute. After recurring last season, this premiere is the first time that J. August gets billed in Angel's fantastic opening credits. One of the details I've always really enjoyed was how each actor's character had a symbolic piece of B-roll behind them. Gunn gets a back alley, a visual connection to his life with the Lost Boys, a cage for Angel, indicating him being trapped by his past actions or the monster trapped within, a line to a club for Cordelia, showing her desire for the glamorous. In Season 1, Doyle's footage was of his messy one-bedroom home, emblematic of his own inner turmoil. Wesley's B-roll for the rest of Season 1 was Doyle's, with a blur added to hide his character, a symptom of Glenn Quinn's unfortunate and unplanned-for departure. In Season 2, that footage has been replaced with a more fitting pan across one of his books, reflective of Wesley's knowledge and his rightfully earned position in Angel investigations. Undoubtedly, the most glorious addition to the mix is the maestro of mind-reading himself, Lorne. Given the show's proclivity for Greek mythology, Lorne is an obvious stand-in for the Greek chorus. I really don't want to say too much about him just yet, other than that Lorne is another layer to the gray or the green that is the Angelverse. A kind demon who uses his powers to help anyone along their path, be they eaters of their own young or Angel himself. Lorne, the demon who insists on his domain being a place of peace and tranquility. It'll be interesting to see what his interaction with the team does for them both. But beyond that, Lorne is also such an interesting commentary on music itself. I said in a previous video that music really is the heart's native language. Music has a way of bypassing our own defense mechanisms, of getting at our very soul. Why not then a telepathic demon that can read our hearts when we sing? It is absolutely perfect. And from Lorne's opening song, which could be interpreted as being about Lorne himself or Darla and Angel, it's clear that music is going to play an unexpected important role in the Angelverse. Similar to how in the first 3 seasons of Buffy, pretty much every classroom lesson was in some way relevant to the theme of the episode itself. While that is not the case with every bit of music in Angel, Lorne's song makes it clear that the choices are anything but haphazard, even if the intent is as simple as poking fun at its characters.
It's a little outside the box.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it.
An example, let's look at Angel's ear-stabby karaoke ditty. Lorne asks a seemingly innocuous question of Angel.
Why Mandy?
Remember, Lorne can't read Angel.
Why Mandy?
Remember, Lorne can't read minds willy-nilly. He can only get impression from people when they speak and sing.
And answer true, because you know I'll know.
But him asking the question itself suggests something may have made him think he should. Angel answers with what Angel believes is true.
I kind of think it's pretty. And it is, you great big sap.
Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart.
I kind of think it's pretty.
And it is, you great big sap.
And that's good enough for Lorne's gloriously eccentric psychic power. We all move on. Except, maybe something else is at play here. Manilow's song Mandy was a smash hit. His follow-up the next year, Could It Be Magic, was less successful. It was one of the few Manilow tunes to be written in a minor key, and he based it on Chopin's
The prelude.
In C minor.
Many major themes from the previous Buffyverse seasons are reintroduced here. Demonicity does not an evil being make, but the gray extends beyond just the essence of the creatures in Angel's world, but also to the intrinsic virtue of one action and the next, or one vision and another.
Thanks for the obscure visions. We're doing great with that.
Perpetually forcing Angel to question where he ends and Angelus begins. This endless cycle of self-doubt looks like it could put Angel at risk somewhere down the line. The episode also holds the dubious distinction of being the show's first use of the word
Champion.
Champion is defeated.
God, I really hate that word.
You'll find out why it's dubious. The episode happens to also be the first use of the word Angel at risk somewhere down the line. The episode also holds the dubious distinction of being the my karaoke song would be No Diggity. The episode also holds the dubious distinction.
Other apart. They look right through you.
Shorty, get down. Good lord. Baby got it jumping on low down. Strictly this, she don't play around, cover much ground. Got game by the pound. Getting paid is a forte, each and every day. True play away. Can't get her out of my mind. Wow. I think about the girl all the time. Wow, wow. East side to the west side. We're pushing fat vibes. It's no surprise. Wish you got tricks in the stash, stacking up the cash, fast when it comes to the gas. By no means average. Strong as she are. All right, I'm done. Down the line. The episode also holds the dubious distinction of being the show's first use of the word
Champion.
So now No Diggity is going to play in my head all night. Which is not a problem. Crank it up.
Use of the word
Champion.
Champion is defeated.
God, I really hate that word.
Champion.
Champion. champion. Champion.
Champion. Champion.
Champion.
Actually, let's do web dings.
Champion is defeated. Champion. Champion. Champion.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but
Champion.
I like the web dings font.
Champion is defeated. Champion is defeated.
It's so stupid. I love it. I love it. It's so dumb.
Champion.
Champion is defeated. Champion is defeated.
It's so dumb. Word.
Champion.
Champion is defeated.
God, I really hate that word.
I think that's an added layer to the joke. I like it.
Looks like it could put Angel at risk somewhere down the line. The episode also holds the dubious distinction of being the show's... Self-doubt looks like it could put Angel at risk somewhere down the line. The episode also holds the dubious distinction of being the show's first use of the word.
Champion is defeated.
Gotta really hate that word.
You'll find out why it's dubious later on. Lastly, the structure of the threat to Angel's client in this one is no accident. That threat being the tribunal and their trial and judgment. In this episode, Angel wins the day by playing their game. But bear in mind his exhaustion and desire to break that wheel that he also expressed in Blind Date.
Our rules, their game.
It's all a lot of good stuff. After the very, very gloomy first season, the addition of Hosty McLorne is a welcome injection of saturation and life to the mix, and everything around Lorne in this episode is a joy.
Hey, Russell.
The team chemistry is still lively, and getting even just a glimpse of Faith on her own journey of redemption, and the evil anonymous relationship she has formed with Angel is a welcome reminder of some of Season 1's pinnacle moments. Still, as much as I enjoy this episode, it seems to exist mainly for the purposes of having Angel come to grips with the fact that it's going to take some time before he does the Shanshu thing. Now that he can see an end goal in mind, over the course of the summer, Angel has developed some impatience in getting to that destination.
That light was so bright. I thought I was already out.
And that's a fascinating idea. It could be really interesting if they choose to play with that this season. However, rather than letting Angel continue to bathe in that anxiety, the writers choose to tie Judgment's story and development off with a bow.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it.
Shouldn't be keeping score.
So, cool? I guess he's moved past his hunger for the destination then? But if that's the case, from a narrative standpoint, I thought his interaction with Wes over it at the end of Season 1 was a far more elegant demonstration of this.
So don't break out the champagne just yet.
Than his pining for a gym membership here. Sure, you might say there's a difference between being told something will take time and Angel actually realizing the weight of that fact. But it still feels a little redundant to me given how Season 1 ended. And if they choose to walk back his moment of character growth here again, then that would make the events of Judgment even more head-scratching for me. We'll see how the story unfolds. There are a number of solid setups in this episode for some wonderful payoffs later in the season, but nothing that feels like it couldn't have been nipped and tucked into the far superior Are You Now or Have You Ever Been? Or simply an episode with a stronger, fresher plot. Judgment contains numerous ideas, but it doesn't feel like it advances so much as restates them through moments we've already seen in Season 1. Angel killed a good demon in the ring, or at least a demon made to do bad things by some worse-souled humans. We've got the second pregnancy-related plot in 2 seasons, though at least this one wasn't touted as mystical. I also wonder if the specifics here, like Angel guarding a pregnant woman being hunted and whose demony partner he killed, will come up again. And we've got another client that will be shortly forgotten by the next episode. Somehow, even with all the good Lorne bits and the chemistry, Judgment still feels at times like a relatively rote Season 1 Angel story. Woman in trouble with a generic supernatural threat, Angel brooding, wacky hijinks, honor, good, redemption, hard, yada yada yada. But we know the business of television had an influence on Angel's plot arcs from time to time, and maybe that's why Judgment feels like another pilot with a built-in desire to catch up new viewers rather than a continuation of Angel and Company's epic journey. A consideration of the fact that the show didn't have the strongest following at this time in its run and would need to do more than rest on its Buffy laurels to survive and flourish. All of that said, it's still better television than a fair bit of Season 1, and honestly, that's better TV than most. It's wonderful to be back with these characters and the world they inhabit.
Okay, here's how we're gonna patch patience.
Host, but since we'll be fine
because I'm not recording any voiceover stuff tonight, and this video is done. So,
demon's aura when they sing. On this run-through, I noticed one of the patients
thank you, Ashley. Yeah. Agreed. Done is more important than perfect. So, especially when it's late. Excuse me.
I noticed one of the patients at Caritas bears a striking resemblance to the naked psychic.
That's it. Woo, we did it. This was the 4th version of the audio
On this run,
I recorded. 4th complete version of the audio I recorded. The 3rd one I edited. Or 2nd and a half one I edited. This video was a pain in the ass. All right, friends, I am going to export this and publish it now. And get it out of my life. She's out of my life. I'm logged in on my phone since I was away. I appreciate you guys. You know, we're hoping for a Firefly edit by the end of the week. I have a certain bet in that regard. And I really want to do some video game streams again. So, follow on Twitter at Ian Nitram if you have any interest in those. And I'll let you know. I may do. I tweeted about. This game I've been playing, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is gorgeous. And I may do some streaming while I play it in VR. Do I look cool, guys? This is VR face. VR face is kind of like video game face, but worse because you can't see my eyes. Should be a pretty good stream, so you want to sign up for that. All right. That is all. I appreciate you hanging out. We'll chat soon. Now I can't see anything.